everybody. I know we all love Throwback Thursday on Instagram. You pull up old pictures. And now I thought it would be fun to do kind of a Throwback Thursday makeup edition. And I have kept some things, you guys. Now, you know I'm a makeup freak, right? We've established that. This should not be any surprise to anyone. There are some things that I have kept for purely like sentimental purposes or potentially dupe purposes. Like if I came up with a dupe of one of these much loved products from my past, you know, that would be really fun. But I'm not using this stuff anymore because this is stuff that I have had. I would estimate I had some of this just before I started my YouTube channel, so that would be back in 2007 or very early on in the beginnings of my YouTube channel. I think there are some of these things you guys are gonna see and be like, oh my gosh, I remember that, or I love that. This is stuff I absolutely loved, and most of it is not around anymore, so I've held on to it. It's been in a little bag like this in my makeup room closet. The first thing I want to show, this is something I really wish they would bring back. First off, remember L'Oreal Hip, you know, when it had like a whole section in Walmart? What about the jelly balms? Remember these? Weren't these awesome? I love these. These had the best scent, like a light kind of vanilla scent. I have Succulent, which was a light pink. I loved this red shade called Delectable, and Plush. This is another pink shade. I can still kind of smell it. They don't smell gross, I gotta say. I'm not gonna use them, but they don't smell gross. But beautiful shades, light sheer colors, and they had such a great texture. You know, they weren't sticky at all on the lips, but they were glossy, and they had just this nice slight thickness to them. I mean, it's so funny how something you haven't used in years and years, you can really remember how they felt. Okay, here's another thing. The Milani singles that came like this. I mean, these were like the best shadows. So many of these, I remember reading about them being dupes of this or that MAC shade, and I bought quite a few of these like in Walgreens just on their own, and then I remember when they were being phased out, and Big Lots had so many of them, so I got a bunch of them that way as well. But I loved using these singles. They're so like buttery, creamy, smooth. Remember the shade called Illusion? It was like a pink with a golden shimmer. I'm sure these are ringing a bell with some of you. There was Spice, a really pretty warm brown. There's Sun Goddess, this gorgeous gold, and they were just, I think, above and beyond, you know, drugstore shadows at the time. And I feel like drugstore makeup has progressively gotten better and better over the years. Even going back to when these were in their prime in the drugstore, they would still today, I think, stack up fabulously with high-end shadows. Those were so great. Okay, my Milani Minerals Blush in Mai Tai. How many years did I go on and on about this product? And I have kept it and purposely not fully used it up, which I totally could have, but in case I come up with a dupe for this shade, I still want to have this on hand. And it's like the perfect matte peachy pink, really saturated pigmented shade. I know I got a lot of people hooked on this, including my mom. All I can say is, why, Milani, why? Why do you discontinue these great things? A couple of other eyeshadows that make me feel so nostalgic. This is one that I think I repurchased 2 to 3 times, and it's this Jane Eye Zing in the shade Clubbing. I used this so much. It's a black with a little bit of shimmer in it, and these eye zings were such pigmented shadows. They were kind of on par with those Milani singles. I used that all the time, like kind of as a liner or in the crease. And Wet n Wild Mega Eyes. Remember when they had singles packaged like this? And there was a shade called Fine Wink. It was this beautiful, like kind of taupey, pink type shade. Such a beautiful color. Had a little sheen to it, but not too much shimmer and sparkle, and I just thought this shade was amazing. And I believe this had a cult following as well, so I still have that. Just wanted to toss this out there. Rimmel Lasting Finish. This is still around. This is still an amazing foundation. This was one of the first foundations that I really fell in love with back in the day, and I loved it when it was packaged like this in the squeezy tube. The Mary Kay people out there could probably tell me if this lipstick is still around, but this shade called Amber Suede. Folks, this doesn't happen to me a lot with lipsticks. This is kind of a deep, I don't know, sort of a brick red type color, and I wore it all the freaking time for news, and in my earliest YouTube videos, I'm sure you will see me sporting this one. It's not like I really need this all over again because I probably got a lot of shades that would be similar to that if I took the time to find a dupe, but I loved that back in the day. Again, we're talking like 2007, 2008 with this stuff. This one, the label is almost totally gone. This was my first like high-end eyeshadow trio, and it was from Smashbox. It was called Smashing Cocktail Hour, and my sister got it for me in some sort of like eye tutorial type kit. I used these so much. That perfect pearly white shade that didn't have any like actual sparkle in it, but just the perfect sheen for the brow bone, the plum, the brown. I mean, that plum has a significant dent in it. I don't know if you can see that, but that was just a limited edition thing, and that really got me onto the Smashbox train. And to this day, I still love Smashbox shadows, but those things really are some of the things from my past in my makeup collection that really stood out to me. Like, I feel so nostalgic when I look at these and I think of the days when I used those and loved those and when they were readily available in stores. But as you all know, there is so much turnover with products in the makeup world. You'll love something, it'll get taken off the market. And part of why I like to keep these things around, you know, of course it's not for using them anymore, they're so old. But a lot of times with makeup brands, you'll see things kind of come back into the rotation. Like maybe it will have disappeared for years, but it will come back with maybe a newer packaging or a new name, and I'm kind of waiting for that to happen for some of these things. Maybe it's wishful thinking, but it'll be cool when I have the old thing to compare it to. Maybe I'm crazy, but I think it's gonna happen. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little walk down memory lane. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye.